Hey, it's Ruben Lawing. This is Sunday afternoon here in McAllen, Texas. I usually do um, a Facebook Live, and usually a faith-based discussion, and then I'll go and do leadership on YouTube for my team and some other people that have a strong influence on me. And today, for some reason, it's kind of hard to get on Facebook right now. I'm not sure why. And the other is my two messages are going to tie together. So every day this year, I get up 4:45 and I read 4 chapters in 4 different books of the Bible: Genesis, Psalms, and Proverbs. And I read the same chapter every day for a month. So it's the 7th month. So I'm in chapter 7 of Genesis, chapter 7 of Psalms, chapter 7 of Proverbs. And it's like every day I get something new when I read them. And so this is the part in Genesis where Noah is told by God to take his family and 7 pairs of clean animals and the male and female of every unclean animal on the earth into the ark. And God shuts them in, and for 40 days and 40 nights it rains, and the water rises the like 50 cubits, which is like the distance between your elbow to your into your hand. So it's 1.5 feet or 2 feet. So you look 100 feet above the highest mountain. Okay, that's like really interesting things in your brain. Then the thoughts of, being in that confined space with all them animals and how much work it's going to be. Those are all the kinds of things that are, stimulated in my mind this morning when I'm reading that chapter. And the verbiage of God telling Noah that he is righteous among this generation stick in my mind. Okay, so then, and I'm bringing into understanding that I had yesterday, that what if, just hypothetically, that our subconscious is actually Satan. Okay, and it's it's built up of all the input we get from all of this, everything in our life from the last trimester in our mother's womb until we're 7 years old, and it's programmed us from that point on to, and so we can consciously change that programming. And if we tap into God and the Holy Spirit through the Word in Scripture, that we can actually reshuffle the deck of our subconscious programming. Okay, but we have to take conscious effort and to do that. Okay, and not be swayed by the pull from our subconscious habitual programming. Okay, so then I'm getting to Psalms, and this is where David is in a cave. Okay, and he's got nothing. He's had everything taken from him. His own son Aslan, is trying to kill him so he can take the kingdom for himself. And he's got other people that have betrayed him, and he can't trust anybody. The only thing he's got is God, and his worship to God is his only weapon. And he kind of goes it's like 3 layers of it, right? He's like, God, if I've ever done anything like this to anybody else, let them throw me out there to them, let them tear me apart like lions, and let them. And then he's like, okay, so I haven't. What are you waiting for, God? And then he's like, okay, you influence the people to come to my aid, and then he's saying, okay, maybe he's taking a little longer. And he's like, well, God has to, sharpen his sword and string his bow, and and to go after my foes. So he's in his mind, he's God is ramping up to go to work for him. Okay. Then you get into Proverbs, and this is, God isn't mentioned in all of chapter 7 of Proverbs. Solomon is talking to his sons, and he's saying, and this is the part that's the best, is tell wisdom, you are my sister, and insight, you are my relative or my cousin, and they will protect you from the adulterous, wayward women and their seductive words. Okay. But that's the key right there, is wisdom, God's wisdom, all right, and insight. What is insight? We're looking into ourselves, okay, and when all about you's, everybody is around you's losing their head and blaming it on you, right? And whenever I got conditioned to this from Roy Jones Sr. He says, whenever you get angry, it's because you've been made to see something about yourself that you don't like. If you fix that, you fix everything. Okay. So I am confident in myself, in my sales ability. I am confident in who I am. I am confident in what we represent. I'm a senior associate with World Financial Group, and I am totally confident in our products and the companies that we represent. Okay, and it's kind of funny because when people throw out at you an objection, okay, and it doesn't seem to phase you, it's kind of like in boxing. If a guy hits you with his best punch and it doesn't appear to do anything to you, they'll stop throwing punches. It's almost the same thing, okay. But I'm realizing that I'm not. The people that I know, my friends that are about my age, I'm 57 years old. Their kids are grown, okay, and they're about ready to stop. They're getting ready to stop working, right? They're not in that demographic, the 28 to 48, married, kids, own a house, make $50,000 a year, but they want to do better. Okay, that's not them. Okay, but the other category is people that want to make a difference, right? They want to have an impact. They are leaders and they want to lead, okay, and they want to make a difference in this world. So I'm talking to people, and a lot of people I know, my old buddies, right? They are those kind of people. They want to make a difference, right? And I point them in the right direction, the demographic, right? And they're like, yeah. And then I talk about how with the technology, how things are, because time always comes up as an excuse, right? Or an objection, okay? I'm like, man, and I show them the WSB community, and I show them the events. I'm like, dude, just plug people in, or turn them on to me, and I'll plug them in. You be a center of influence, and turn me on to those people, and I'll do the work. I'll do it for you, okay? You got to get your license so you can get paid, right? And they're like, oh, get paid, right? But this is not what it's. You got to really have a heart to help people. And it's wild is with Harvard Business School, it's adopted our curriculum, Columbia Business School's adopted our curriculum, the FBI's adopted our curriculum, and Oracle have all adopted the Saving Your Future book curriculum, right? How's that for credibility, right? And that's what we're, offering people to represent the same things. Right? We are changing, we're going to change America, North America, okay, U.S. and Canada, and, being confident. And when I go and I show that graph of the Index Universal Life versus the Variable Universal Life from 2000 to 2012, and the difference, positive 0.3% with the variable universal life versus 114.49% for the index universal life because of the protection, you know, where are you going to get better than that? I'm listening. Okay. And I've been really working on the presentation, to be more positive. A lot of it can be really a doom and gloom and downer, and some people get turned off by that. And I'm just like, hey, this was in 2015. They did this. Do you think things are better now or worse? And I've had nobody said that it's better so far, right? But it's a way of presenting it where it doesn't come across so negative. But the emphasis here is where we have the solution. Do you think if everybody had their financial house in order, had the right foundation, that we'd be having the problems we're having right now? Probably not. Okay. And what blows my mind is like if I talk to people that have been good savers, millionaires already, right? And they don't know, about the tax advantages. That says something. Okay. That says a lot. I had one millionaire say, wow, if I'd have known this, I'd have had 4 million now instead of 2 million. Isn't that funny? All right. Tying these messages together with the faith and the leadership. Okay. It's those people, those leaders in the Bible, whether it was Noah or David or Solomon. So Moses was righteous. Noah was righteous. Okay? And Noah didn't let his subconscious programming and doubt and fear rule over him. Okay? He took direct direction from God. Okay? And didn't matter what anybody was saying around him, whatever doubting him, none of that. He moved forward. Okay. Then there's David. David's here. He's like, I can relate. For a long time, it was a pretty desperate situation, and it's all I had was calling on God and to pull me out, and He did. All right. And then there's Solomon, and Solomon's the wealthiest king, on the planet, and he is sharing his wisdom, teaching what he knows, all right, to his sons. And that's, what I'm calling out to these established people. These people already have it going on, right? That, they've already done that. They've saved. They've got they're about ready to retire. They're about, but they still got that desire to have an impact in them, and explain it to them. And the way I do it is I talk about teaching a kid how to ride a bike. There's nothing like it, right? They're scared out of their mind, and they need you to hold on to that bike, right? But then you let go of that bike, and then they don't even know that you let go, and they're riding by them. Then you're like, okay, you ready? And then they take off, man, and you wouldn't even know they even needed you. Okay, when you get somebody started and you get them on the right path, you get them on a budget, you help them eliminate the wasteful spending and start saving, even if it's just a little bit, but those accounts start growing, right? And knocking down that debt. You get them in a debt roll-up strategy, and that debt starts, they pay off that first one, and then they pay off the next one, and they get, that confidence starts to grow, all right? They get confidence, and it's on a foundation, okay? And so that's exciting. That's very exciting. There's nothing else that does that. There is nothing else. Okay, the trick is communicating to it, saying, talking to somebody in the way that they need to be talked to, and telling these people that they are leaders. They've been leaders in their life. Okay, that they can be leaders and have a real impact with us, resonates as much as all the other statistics, the rate of return, the protection. As much as that, and important as that is, that ability to be a leader is what is doing it. All right. Have a great Sunday. Moving out.